So here in today's lecture, we will see what is meant by the law of Hess's law of constant heat emission, or simply called the Hess's law, and its applications along with the illustrative examples. According to the Hess's law of constant heat summation, the amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains the same whether the process takes place in one or several steps. Means the amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains the same whether the process takes place in one or several steps. The energy change occurring during a particular process is remain constant, is going to remain constant whether that process takes place in one or several steps. Means if some conversion is taking place, if that conversion takes place in say one step or 5 steps, then whatever is the change in heat absorbed or evolved for that particular one step process or 5 step process, that is same or that remains constant. That is, energy changes accompanying a chemical reactions or chemical processes are governed by the Hess's law of constant heat summation. Now, for this particular understanding of this Hess's law of heat summation, let us consider that a general reaction where this A reactant is getting converted into product D, and say at that time Q amount of heat is evolved. It means A is getting converted into D, this A is reactant here, this is getting converted into product D, and let us suppose that Q amount of heat is applied. So that in thermochemistry, we write delta H is equal to minus Q, say unit may be kilocalories per mole or calories per mole, etc. So let us suppose here that conversion of A takes place into D with the liberation of Q amount of heat, and delta H, let us suppose here that is minus Q. Here this Q amount of heat is liberated. That's why here delta H becomes equal to minus Q. It means that this change occurs, when this change occurs, that is change of A into D takes place, at that time some amount of heat is evolved. Let us suppose where this Q is the heat evolved in the direct change from A to D. Now this is one path where this A can be converted into D. Now, is there any alternative? There may be an alternative path for the same conversion, where this A can be converted into B, intermediate, then this intermediate B can be converted into C, and the intermediate C finally gets converted into D. So there is another possibility of the conversion of A into D, either by first step, that is conversion of A into D, or through several steps. Let us suppose that the conversion occurs in the second way. The conversion occurs in 3 steps. Then the conversion of A takes place into B, and let us suppose Q1 amount of heat is released there, so that delta H1 for this first step becomes equal to minus Q1. For the second step, that is conversion of B into C, Q2, let us suppose that Q2 amount of heat is liberated, then delta H2 is equal to minus Q2, and let us suppose for the third step, that is C into conversion of C into D, let us suppose Q3 amount of heat is liberated. So here delta H3 is equal to minus Q3. Therefore, according to the Hess's law of constant heat summation, the total heat evolved during the process, that can be either Q or the sum of Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, and here is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, that is equal to Q. And this has been observed practically also. The Hess's law of constant heat summation is practically proven concept. So, according to the Hess's law of constant heat summation, the energy changes or the amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains the same whether that process takes place in one or several steps. So this is the concept of Hess's law. So what is Hess's law? Hess's law is nothing but it states that the amount of heat absorbed or evolved, during a chemical process or a process remains the same whether the process takes place in one or several steps. Means if the process is taking place in one steps or two steps, three steps, four steps, five steps, several steps, then whatever are the net energy changes for those possible pathways, they are remaining constant. So the Hess's law of constant heat summation says that the amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains the same whether that process takes place in one or several steps. And this is very important law in thermochemistry, which governs the energy changes accompanying a chemical process or chemical reactions. And we have illustrated one example, that is conversion of A into D. If the conversion of A into D is taking place, and let us suppose Q amount of heat is liberated, so in thermochemistry we can write this thermochemical equation as A into D, conversion of A into D with the liberation of Q amount of heat, and delta H is equal to minus Q here, where Q is the amount of heat evolved in the direct change from A to D. Now, alternatively, the same conversion can occur through several steps. It is conversion of A into B with the liberation of Q1 amount of heat. Delta H1 is equal to Q1 here. The second step might be involving there, that is B into C, conversion of B into C, where with the liberation of Q2 amount of heat, that is delta H2 is equal to minus Q2, conversion of C into D with the liberation of Q3 amount of heat, that is equal to delta H3 is equal to minus Q3. And therefore, according to the Hess's law, this Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, that is equal to Q. That is, the total amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains constant whether the process takes place in one or several steps. That doesn't matter. Now here is an illustration of the first law, that is the Hess's law of constant heat summation. Now consider here the formation of carbon dioxide. This formation of carbon dioxide can take place directly by burning of this carbon with oxygen. So if this carbon is getting fully burned, it is getting converted into carbon dioxide gas, where 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen, there is formation of 1 mole of CO2. So this is one path. Now what is the alternative path here? Alternative path is there, burning of this carbon with atmospheric oxygen, say, or oxygen, to form carbon monoxide and half of O2. So here the conversion is taking place now in two different steps. First is the formation of carbon monoxide by the reaction of carbon with oxygen, and the second step is that carbon monoxide again burning with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So the formation of carbon dioxide is taking place in this first step, in a single step, this first pathway, and the second pathway is that it may take place with the intermediate formation of carbon monoxide here, and that carbon monoxide may again get burned with oxygen, and carbon dioxide is again formed. So here what happens? The heat change accompanying this first pathway, that is direct burning of this carbon with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, that delta H in that process is minus 94.13 kilocalories per mole. And in the second pathway, here the burning of carbon to carbon monoxide, here heat changes is equal to minus 26.42 kilocalories per mole, and heat changes accompanying this conversion of carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide is minus 67.71 kilocalories per mole. So according to Hess's law, delta H is equal to, for this overall change, for this two-step pathway, that is minus 26.42 plus minus 67.71 kilocalories per mole. So that comes to be here minus 94.13. So this is the same as the heat changes accompanying this particular step. That is the first pathway. So according to Hess's law of constant heat summation, the energy changes or the amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a process remains the same whether that process takes place in one or several steps. So here we understand from the Hess's law that if a process is taking place in one step or several steps, then whatever are the energy changes, whatever are the overall energy changes accompanying that process, those remain constant, right? So what are the applications of the first law of, that is the Hess's law in thermochemistry? Now this Hess's law can be used to calculate enthalpies of reactions. Hess's law is used to calculate enthalpies of